Discuss the Department of Government Efficiency with Jennifer Pahlka from the Niskanen Center. There is a lot to discuss still about Doge. This is Bloomberg Technology.
We're just getting started. And the thing I remember about last week is when Donald Trump was in this room, everybody else was celebrating. He was stone cold ready for the next step. But I also want to thank him for making sure that Elon Musk and I are in a position to start the mass deportations of millions of unelected federal bureaucrats out of the D.C. bureaucracy. That, too, is how we're going to save this country. And I don't know if you've got to know Elon yet, but he doesn't bring a chisel. He brings a chainsaw. And we're going to be taking it to that bureaucracy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, who was recently chosen by President-elect Donald Trump to co-lead the new Department of Government Efficiency, along with Elon Musk, to cut excess regulation, it says, and expenses. Let's discuss this with Jennifer Pahlka, sorry. It's a Friday. Jennifer Pahlka, okay. Senior Fellow at Niskanen Center and former President Barack Obama's Deputy Chief Technology Officer. Boy, you have got inside knowledge about how easy or hard it is to effect policy change within a civil service that already exists. Look, Vivek Ramaswamy saying it will be fun to take a chainsaw to it. For many who work there, this won't be fun. But what's the reality? Do you agree that in principle, efficiency needs to be found?
I agree that government has to get better at doing what we say we're going to do, and I think our inability to do that has sort of created the opening for this Doge and sort of other initiatives that you see coming out of the Trump White House. Now, there's so many questions about this. You have significant conflicts of interest, especially for Elon Musk. They have established this thing outside of government, so it's unclear if they really intend to just rely on executive action or really get involved with Congress. So there's some questions about whether they can be effective. But I do think that there is a real problem behind all of this rhetoric that needs to be handled with probably more care than the way that Musk and Ramaswamy are talking about it.
Jennifer, I don't want to be naive to the fact that people have been probably trying to make government more efficient for a little while. So what is it that hasn't been done? Are we at the level now that this sort of decision not to care, not to be precise, but actually to just go at it with a chainsaw, just every other social security number is out? Is that the place that we've got ourselves to?
I don't think it has to be. I think a good analogy might be brush fires. So I live part-time in California in a very, very high fire risk area. And I was told when we moved there, you know, back when natives owned the land, there were 15 trees per acre, per acre. And now there's 1,500. And so the fires now are bigger. And we can do fire management now. We've learned a lot, and we can mitigate the worst damage. But when you haven't cleared out the craft for many years, and I think that is unfortunately what has happened in our government, is that we haven't, then we get these conflagrations that burn out of control. I hope we can stop that, but we are going to have some burning, and some of it will end up being healthy over the long run. It's a difficult situation to be in, and I think that public servants who feel nervous about this have a right to be.
We heard from Vivek Ramaswamy in that soundbite, but I had an exchange with him on X, the social media platform, yesterday. And as part of that exchange, I flagged the idea that investors are basically selling out of companies that are historically main contractors to the government for a reason. They think that, you know, that Mr. Ramaswamy, who calls Uncle Sam not supposed to be Uncle Sucker, they think he'll be successful. I guess that I would just like you to outline the reality of doing that, cancelling long-term contracts, looking at alternate vendors, and ultimately reducing headcount at government agencies based on your experience having worked within it.
If we do that, there will be damage in all sorts of ways. There's going to be damage to our ability to protect our nuclear arsenal, for instance. Michael Lewis writes about this in The Fifth Risk. It will chill your bones. We do not want that. On the other hand, we do need some changes, and we need, when we do those changes, to be thoughtful about preserving the foundations that this country is built on. Now, this isn't a DOGE proposal, but if you look at the Schedule F proposal, for instance, it's not actually addressing the real problems of being difficult to fire underperformers, for instance. It's going at the core principles of a independent civil service that's able to tell the truth, that is hired and fired on the basis of merit. We need real civil service reform, not Schedule F.
Jennifer Pahlka, Senior Fellow at Niskanen Center. Really appreciate your time here on Bloomberg Technology.